Gentlemen, it's great to see you. Let's get right down to business. It's prediction time, of course, odds, props, and futures, which we're going to be talking about here shortly. All that sports interaction. We're looking forward to the World Cup. I know you guys are as well. Let's start off with this, James. Player of the tournament, 32 teams, lots of options here. Who's your golden ball selection?
Yeah, you know what, Dave, this may not be a very creative answer for you, but Leo Messi has a lot to prove in what is his last World Cup. He's also a player that's bouncing back this year at PSG. He's playing some of the best football we've seen from Messi in some time. He's dominant on a team that can be dominant, a very deep team, a team that's built around him, a team that will go deep in this World Cup. So, there's actually some value with Messi as well, amazingly. This is arguably the greatest player of all time, but I think he's just set up really well in a free moving role in that attack for Argentina to once again be a dominant force at a big tournament and to not only win a golden boot, but perhaps win a World Cup.
Well, I think you're pretty spot on there as far as the chances of that. I like Messi as well. He's getting older. There's a lot of football these players have been playing leading up to this World Cup. I'm not sure that's going to be a factor. It might be at his age, Sharm. So I'm going to say Neymar. I think that primarily because I just see this Brazilian side so deep and so talented that I just can't see them not going deep in the tournament and further than Argentina, which then puts Neymar in a better position to win the golden ball. So that's what I'm going for. Again, not overly creative, but just outstanding team, brilliant, unbeaten in qualification as well as Argentina, of course, but very, very strong.
Yeah, tremendously strong. Two very good South American countries. Perhaps that's a prelude to something that's coming up in a bit. James, I'll get you to answer this one, though. So we go from golden ball to golden boot. So, of course, top goal scorer. Harry Kane is number one at Sports Interaction. A lot of other books as well. Is he your number one selection for most goals in the tournament?
I wish he was as an Englishman, but no, he's not. England's got some issues there, but still at plus 549. That's some good value for Kane for sure. I like Kylian Mbappe of France, plus 900. To be the golden boot winner. This guy is arguably the best player in world football today. He's playing great at PSG this year. He's surrounded by controversy. We know that this France team could blow it in the first round and implode, or they could win the entire tournament. I'm banking on the latter to go a long way in this tournament. He's going to be a player with creativity all around him and this new look midfield. Mbappe has more pace than I think anyone at this World Cup, and they'll build the team around him. So for me, it's going to be Mbappe if France keep their heads together and don't implode.
Yeah, definitely. France, one of the favorites as well. So that could be a selection. So, Craig, we go from golden boot to golden glove, something you know very well about. Top goalkeeper, a lot of options here too. Is there a specific goalkeeper you're expecting big things from this tournament?
Well, again, I'm going to stick with the Brazilian side and Alisson. As we know, playing for Liverpool Football Club, not the best of league seasons so far for the club in general, but for Alisson, he's been solid. He's one of those, players that just is so consistent in net and great distribution, great talent around him, good defense as well. This Brazilian side can defend. So I think that he's up for every opportunity of winning the Golden Glove this time around.
Absolutely. So on the site itself, guys, and there's a lot of head-to-head matchups, a lot of rivals as well. So there's a section that asks Team A versus Team B, who will go further. So I'll start with you, Sharman, on this one. It's a classic rival, France or England. Which one of these two teams will go further in this tournament?
Okay, according to my bracket, the most recent bracket, it changes every time I fill out a bracket. I have France and England meeting in the quarterfinals, which is not a great matchup for either team. France has more depth. Both teams are entering the World Cup with little momentum at the moment, really poor Nations League events, but a year ago, still very, very strong. I'm saying France will advance, will find a way to get through England just because of that, like I mentioned, Mbappe, the depth in attack in particular. So I'll take Les Bleus to go a little bit further than my three Lions.
Craig, I'll give you arguably what some people call the greatest rivalry in sports, Brazil versus Argentina. Out of those two countries, who goes further in this World Cup?
Well, like I've been saying about this Brazilian team in this section is that how deep they are, how good they are defending, the talent, the experience and the youthfulness of this side as well. I'm going to say Brazil. I have a soft spot for Messi and Argentina. Again, both these teams are unbeaten in qualification in the South American Common Bowl, which is just outstanding football, and you have to be super brilliant to be able to do that. But I think it's Brazil's time this time around. You look through them, and I think it's the most difficult job in the business, Brazil. Who do you pick and who do you leave out? That's the biggest question.
Yeah, it certainly is. Now, there's also a lot of people that are going to be watching this World Cup that are kind of closet soccer fans and really want to focus in on this tournament. So they're looking for that surprising team, that dark horse team. Sharman, we'll start with you. Who are those two teams or 1-2 teams? It's up to you, your choice of, you know what, watch out for this team. They could really surprise you.
Okay, for my two, it'll be Denmark and Senegal. I'll focus on Senegal. Every World Cup, we expect an African team to do well, and most World Cups that doesn't happen. Back in 2002, Senegal went to the quarterfinals. They were one of the stories. This time around, same thing. They won the African Cup of Nations, looked great, that they beat Egypt in the playoff to get this far. They're in a pretty soft group in Netherlands, Qatar, and Ecuador. So Sadio Mane is an absolute megastar in world football at Bayern Munich at the moment. I'm picking Senegal to finally fly the flag of all the African nations and go very deep in this tournament.
I was teetering on that as well, Sharms, I got to tell you. But I'm going to go with Denmark, which is one of your picks as well. Very organized side, got a good group as well. I mean, France is obviously going to get through, but Australia and Tunisia, I think they can handle. Got to the semifinals of the Euro, which was a bit of a surprise. But that organization and the physicality that they bring, I think there's going to be certainly a chance for them to go deep in this tournament. The other one has to be Canada, Sharms. Come on.
Of course.
There you go.
There's the obvious one, right? I know.
And let's face it, they do have an absolute shot. But they also could lose all 3 games. It's going to be fun. It's going to be exciting. Canada's going to have a go. They're going to play on the front foot. And let's hope they can surprise, because I certainly think they can.
Yeah, it should be very interesting to see what they can do in that group. Finally, guys, your World Cup predictions, your 2 teams. I'm not asking necessarily for the winner right here, but the 2 teams you think are going to be in the final. James Sharman, we'll start with you.
Okay, as I mentioned, my most recent bracket has these 2 teams. I'm pretty confident. The old romantic in me wants to see a Leo Messi get to the final and win a World Cup. I have Argentina, like I mentioned, just fully kitted out in all departments, from defense through to attack, against Belgium. Belgium, there's this aging golden generation, we're told, right? Well, to me, they look pretty good in their prime. Kevin De Bruyne might be the player of this year's tournament. Belgium are going to get out of that group with Canada, and with that momentum, are going to roll. So I see an Argentina-Belgium final, and that would be a great success for football, because 2 great teams that play the right way.
Yeah, those are very good as well. I mean, I'm going to go with Brazil. I can't leave them alone at this particular moment. Again, gave you the reasons why. I think Belgium's got every opportunity as well, Sharms. I think this is their last chance with this golden generation. And then they're going to see some major changes. However, there are some doubts about the Belgian side as well that kind of scare me. Like Lukaku's struggling with injuries, but they do have some brilliant midfield players, don't they? So we know what Kevin De Bruyne can do. We know what Tielemans can do from Leicester City. This is a side that can certainly do it. And the manager, Martinez, is excellent. And I think they're well coached as well. So there you have it, Brazil, Belgium.
There you go, guys. Thanks a lot for everything, guys. This has been a lot of fun. Of course, be sure to check out our YouTube page at Sports Interaction for the best soccer content.